Hey guys, Lytane here, and thank you so much for checking out this video. Like, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Now, I am a glutton for punishment. I really like when a game is hard, but fair. I don't like those ones like those mods that people make where they will put an invisible block above a hole and then you jump and hit the block and then you fall down and die. That's not fair. Today I want to have a look at a game called Titan Souls, which is very, very hard, but is it fair and is it worth it? Let's find out. Titan Souls was released in April 2015 and made by an indie team called Acid Nerve. Even though this game has Souls in its name, it has no relation to the Souls series made by From Software, and I will assume that they chose this name to instill an idea of how hard the game will be. You play as a nameless warrior armed with a trusty bow and arrow as you go and seek truth and power. You wake in a strange land that lies between life and death, though how you got there? That's a mystery that will never be solved. In this land there are souls, great and powerful souls, called Titans. These are the essence and spiritual source and the sum of the world, as well as other warriors that have tried to take them down in the past. So why not challenge these Titans and start collecting their Titan souls within you as you hunt down the truth or power or understanding, whatever it is the main character's going after. It's open-ended, so it can be whatever you want it to be, and just like the idea that it's based on, prepare to die a lot. Titan Souls is a 2D action game that is very easy to pick up and play because the controls are so simple. You can walk, you can run, you can dodge roll, you can climb, and you can shoot your bow and arrow, and that's about it. You're not going to be platforming and jumping and doing all that kind of stuff. No, in order to explore, you just kind of walk around and climb and all that kinds of stuff. There is no leveling in this game, there are no extra abilities, there's nothing that you will learn as time goes on. What you get from the start of the game is exactly what you have by the end of the game. The only thing that changes is you and your skill. And you will need some skill as well, because your bow and arrow only has one arrow in it for the entire game. That's it, one arrow. You can aim it anywhere you want with the analog stick and fire with the trigger buttons for maximum precision though, which is very handy. But after you shoot this arrow, it's now laying around in the world. It doesn't come back to you automatically. With the push of a button though, you will stop in place and draw the arrow back to you with some kind of telekinetic power, which is pretty cool. Once it touches you, it goes back into your quiver, and then you can take another shot at whatever Titan you are facing. This is the soul mechanic of the game as well. All you'll be doing is dodging around and shooting your bow and arrow, and that's about it. There are no side quests in this game, there is no NPCs, there is nothing like that. There's no leveling, there's no any other RPG elements. There are 19 boss fights in this game. 19 Titans, that's ridiculous, and each one of them is unique. There are no repeats in the entire game, and each Titan plays very differently as well, requiring different strategies in order to take them down. But it's not going to be very easy to take them down because everything will kill you in one hit. So any kind of wrong move that you make, you will die. But that's not so bad because every boss in the game, except for one, is killed with a single shot as well. So that makes it fair, right? Not quite. Every boss has some kind of weak point that you have to strike, but that requires you to get them to expose this weak point in order to kill them. Take one of the first bosses for example, Sludge Heart. It's a huge blob with a heart in the middle. Shoot the heart and kill it. That's easy, right? Well, each time you shoot the blob, it splits apart. You have to do this 4 times before the heart is exposed, and then you can finally kill it. Each one of these Titans is a puzzle for you to solve. You need to figure out where their weak points are, how to expose those weak points, and then how to get into that exposure in order to kill them. It's also a very high dexterity game because you will be running and dodge rolling and shooting so many times, and if you miss, then you have to dodge roll and try and call back your arrow as well, and it's very intense in every single fight. And if you die, that's not so bad because you have unlimited lives. You just get sent back to the autosave point and just have to walk back to the boss, so that's not so bad. This game is pretty much 95% fighting Titans. The other 5% is walking to the next Titan. Whenever you take one down, man, it feels good. Working to figure out how to kill it and then actually doing it and seeing the kill animation is really fun and very satisfying. Most titans can be brought down with a quirky strategy as well that you can use to kill them quickly or easily. It still requires some quick reflexes and timing, but it feels even more satisfying if you do a trick shot in order to kill them. One example of this is when you're pulling your arrow back towards you, if it's going fast enough, it counts as a hit. So you could shoot it off, wait for the boss to get in position and call it towards you so it strikes the boss, killing them. It is so satisfying when you pull off one of these trick shots, even if it was by accident. There's a little bit of replayability to this game as well. As you do not need to kill all the titans to finish the game, you can always go back in and fight the guys and try and master the ones that you didn't get to kill last time. And if you do kill all the titans, you get a reward. Another titan fight, yay! The true final boss in the game, and it is difficult. It is probably the second hardest fight in the entire game. I still think the soul, the fight before that, which is like the final boss, is the hardest fight of the entire game, and then the one before that, Goal Set, I hate that guy so much. He's probably like the third hardest, only because he is so incredibly annoying, especially on hard mode. And that brings up a good point. There are actually other modes to this game. After you have finished the main game, you unlock these extra modes that add a bit of challenge to it. These new modes include Iron Mode, which is the whole game but on one life. If you die, you are set back to the absolute start of the game, which is pretty crazy. There is also a no dodge and no run mode, meaning just that, you can't dodge or run. That's another crazy idea. Truth mode isn't really another mode, it just translates some of the text in the game into English, including the boss names. Yeah, they aren't even in English on the first time you play through the game, which is really odd. There's also hard mode, which I just mentioned before, which makes everyone attack faster and they're more ferocious, and they get other additions like the slime splits into 3 blobs instead of 2. This one is a lot of fun and a nice way to humble you when you thought that you were the master of the game because you could kill all of the titans on normal mode. But this game is very, very frustrating. Trying to figure out how to kill all of those titans and then actually doing so, it is hard. And then you just upgrade the game into hard mode. Like, that's just crazy. They attack faster. It's much, much harder. But it's also more rewarding if you go through this and you kill them. It feels really, really good. It makes you feel like a master of the game. Also, just so you know, I do have the platinum trophy for this game. I'm just going to boast a little because it was incredibly hard to get it, and I did. I also have a little short video on me killing the final boss in the game on Iron Mode and Hard Mode at the same time. It was crazy. It was like the most ridiculous thing I've ever done, and I don't even know how I did it. It took like so many run-throughs to get to that point and to kill him. It was ridiculous, but man, I did it, and go and check out that little video. The graphics for this game are fairly simple, but have a good use of color and detail. Most of the bosses have some kind of 3D effect to them to make them stand out, like the ice on the brain freeze is a 3D object, compared to everything else there, which is a 2D pixel. I like the pixel art as it shows everything you need to on the screen without being ugly, and the style will last a lot longer than poor rendered 3D graphics ever could. The music is not in your face and honestly barely there. The battle theme is good and gets the juices pumping, which is exactly what you need it to do, but it's not bombastic or over the top, so it doesn't get in the way. Sound effects are sharp and feel weighty, especially the big Titan sounds. In my opinion, I think that Titan Souls is worth it. It is an incredibly hard and frustrating game, but every time you kill one of those titans, it is incredibly satisfying. You'll feel like a titan yourself because you managed to take one of these Goliaths down. I like that the music is not in your face. I like the pixel artwork. I like that every boss is unique and it requires a different strategy in order to beat them. It is a very, very fun game, if a little frustrating, but honestly, if you just stick with it and you get good, it is very fun and very satisfying. I don't know about you, but after I mastered this game, I had a lot of fun showing it to other people and getting them to play it and then watching them die constantly because it's the same thing that I went through. It's the same learning curve. It was the same, like, how do I beat this boss? It's the same, oh, how do I get away? It was the same nerve-wracking energy. And then after they had died a couple times, I would impart my knowledge to them and teach them the strategies and how to beat the boss easier. And it was a lot of fun. It was really good to play through. In fact, like 2 years ago, I watched my friend Poofy play through this game, and I was helping him out online, and it was so much fun. It was really, really good. I fully recommend Poofy as well. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. He's a Let's Player. He plays a lot of video games, a lot of indie games, a lot of small games, and he's a lot of fun. He's a great guy. You should go check him out. Maybe tell him that I sent you. He'll be very surprised because I've never plugged his channel before, but he's an incredibly cool guy. Go and check him out. So guys, tell me what you thought about Titan Souls. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you find it incredibly hard, or was it just too easy for you? It was very, very hard for me. I'm not gonna lie. Going through Iron Mode and Hard Mode just absolutely destroyed me. It was hard. There are only a few bosses that I would not be able to kill consistently, especially the Soul. Man, the Soul. I got so lucky when I finally took him down, and I had to share it. I recorded it on the PlayStation. It was great. I love that share feature. So, man, it was probably one of the like crowning achievements in gaming that I've ever had. Honestly, it's absolutely ridiculous. But tell me what you guys thought about it, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Shooting an arrow, seeing how it flies. Teen Titans running around and dodging before you die. Teen Titans, where the fist goes you'll never know. Where the arrow flies, I hope it will go into the heart of the bad guys. Teen Titans! That was really bad. I don't know why I sung it so high. That's kind of how the song goes. Made that up, not scripted. Man, I'm lame. I'm sorry, I'll just go. And then instigament. Instigament. That's instigate and implement. Instigament.